So I have some good news and some bad news to cover in today's video, and so I guess before I get into the overall good news, let's just talk about the bad news first. So, it's been very clear for a while now, for months now, for a very long time actually, that Horikoshi-sensei, the author of My Hero Academia, has had deteriorating health. We have seen him in his offer comments talk about how he feels awful, sick, he's experiencing a lot of, medical problems. It's been very apparent by just the way he's kind of talked about it in offer comments in Weekly Shonen Jump. I have made multiple videos on this topic, and it is something that I went on record to say that I think many of us can agree, if we really love My Hero and love Horikoshi as an author, that he definitely deserves a very long break. And one thing I've said myself in previous videos is that I feel like Horikoshi-sensei should probably just go on a long hiatus, because it's clear that the more he keeps writing the series, the more that he keeps drawing the manga, the more his health is clearly declining. This offer comment, or not this offer comment, but this more or less a statement from Weekly Shonen Jump, it basically says this: the series will be absent, this week, which is why we didn't have a chapter earlier today, and the following week as well. There will be no chapter for My Hero Academia due to, Horikoshi's poor physical condition. Basically saying that his health is deteriorating. And as I've always said in previous videos, I've talked about this with videos with Horikoshi, I've also talked about it with, let's say, Tabata from Black Clover, to also getting, into, let's say, I guess, Togashi from Hunter x Hunter. I've always talked about, let's say, offer comments and, these health problems that a lot of these mangaka clearly go through a lot. And it's definitely not something that is just, rare. We see this so often with so many offers within the industry, mainly with Weekly Shonen Jump. It's just sad when you see headlines like this with an offer obviously not doing so well in the health department. Honestly, the big thing about this, what this once again just shows, it reinforces the point that Horikoshi is continuously pushing himself, and he's trying to do the best he can at the cost of his own well-being. And it's really sad, honestly. Half of me wants My Hero Academia's manga to end just for Horikoshi to be done and actually get some rest. Because I know people want to instantly go out of their way, and they're going to want to just hate on My Hero Academia, because I've said it also in other videos, that it is very popular to hate My Hero Academia, and obviously some of the writing elements has degraded, and I'm not even going to try to act like it hasn't. But it does not change the fact at the end of the day that Horikoshi is a human being that is trying to produce a product that obviously a lot of people love. And the fact of the matter is that clearly that product he's trying to produce is literally killing him. And so I really hope that overall, I know he's probably just going to take these 2-week breaks, but I really hope that he just takes an extended hiatus. He really needs one. I really wish Shonen Jump would just be more forgiving, or just more leeway, so to speak, and say, yeah, take, a 6-month break or whatever. I know that could be kind of bad for the grand scheme of things, maybe for audience retention and all that, but I feel like Horikoshi is just another example of many mangaka that go through a lot of issues, and so I really hope that he recovers. I hope that he gets the break he needs, because personally, I don't think this week and next week is a long enough break. I think he needs at least a few months of a break, because clearly he's been going through a lot of health problems as of late. But that's basically about it. Just My Hero Academia is going to be on hiatus for a bit, at least for 2 weeks, and then he's going to return most likely, but once again, I hope that the actual break stays longer, because I think he actually needs it. If we like My Hero Academia, and we like Horikoshi, you don't even need to like Horikoshi. I think just as human decency, I think we should hope that the man gets a break. But, yeah, that's the bad news. Now, getting into the good news. So, we need to talk about Mushoku Tensei. So, basically, earlier this morning, we had the official Studio Bind account that made a post. And this post, once again, this is through Google Translate, so there could be some inaccuracies here. But it says, there will be an announcement tomorrow at 1300 on the 13th. Now, we gotta remember this is in Japan. Japan's 12, 14 hours ahead of at least my time right now. So basically, upon me recording this right now, this information will probably come out probably 5 or 6 hours from now, maybe 7. So it's not really that long from now until we get whatever Studio Bind is so cooking up. Now, what could this announcement necessarily be? We gotta think about that, okay? So, obviously, with this post, many are gonna be assuming, like, oh, is it something about, let's say, Mushoku Tensei, or is it about Onimai, which is airing this season that they're making as well? And obviously, people will instantly assume maybe it's Onimai Season 2 announcement. But honestly, I think that's a little bit too early, because usually those type of announcements are not given until the final episode, or the day of, or like a day before the final episode. So I don't really think it's potentially an Onimai Season 2 announcement. Now, if we're looking at Mushoku Tensei, what could they really be announcing tomorrow? And that's another strange thing, because we know that Mushoku Tensei is going to get, like, stuff in, the Anime Japan 2023. We know this. We know for a fact that it's probably going to get some form of new news, etc. And so we already know Season 2 is coming as well, so it's not necessarily something that is, like, up in the air, or, like, when are we getting to Season 2? So the thing about this is that I really doubt it's fully on Mushoku Tensei, or even Onimai. So what I'm assuming, once again, no confirmation of this. This is just me, throwing something out there. Just want to clarify. But my assumption is that it's going to be a new project. Either they're going to announce a new anime original, or just an anime they're working on, or something along the lines of that. But, I mean, this is interesting, because obviously Studio Bind has definitely gained a lot of, popularity as of late, because of the anime they've worked on. And so I am legitimately curious if maybe they might announce, and I'm going to cross my fingers for this, because I doubt it's going to happen. But I want to cross my fingers and hope that maybe, just maybe, Studio Bind will be like, we picked up ReZero. Like, imagine. I mean, okay, look, I've been talking about ReZero a lot, and I'm, as I even said in my video yesterday, I'm in having that, like, hopium/copium of ReZero, but let's be honest, that there is a lot of things that are leaning towards the fact that ReZero is probably going to get a Season 3 announcement, or some form of announcement, either for an OVA, of maybe, like, some form of, EX novels or whatever. Something is going to get announced. Something at least anime-related, potentially. And so, it's not really far-fetched to assume, since, Studio Bind, and the staff and all that they have, might actually pick up ReZero. Especially since they have a lot of work with Mushoku Tensei. So that is something I want to throw out there. So, ReZero announcement, but then what really muddies the waters of this, of my thought process of how it could be ReZero, is the fact that we know ReZero is technically going to be at Anime Japan in a few weeks. So, if they announce that they got ReZero, what would the ReZero stuff announcement in Anime Japan be about? That is another question. So, I don't know. Once again, just throwing stuff out there. We'll find out in about 7 to 8 hours from now, but I feel like this is pretty interesting, because obviously, I don't think that the studio itself would say something like this unless it's like, going to be a pretty big announcement. We'll find out, though. I'll keep you guys up to date as we know, but yeah, I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to kind of mix this, fill this video up with some good and bad news, because obviously the Horikoshi stuff is very sad news, and I've talked about it. I think it's awful what these manga could go through, and I feel like they deserve a lot more respect than they do. And then we have the stuff with, Studio Bind, which kind of lightens the mood a little bit. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, though. Thank you so much for everyone that watched this video. I greatly appreciate it, and may you all have a fantastic day or night wherever you live. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.